Hello, hello everybody. Welcome and good morning. Today's live class, we're going to do two things today. We're going to talk about two separate topics, and the first one I just want to touch lightly on because we've talked about this before. If you want to know more about muscle testing, you are welcome to scroll through the feed of this group. Not very long ago, maybe even just a couple of weeks ago, I actually did an entire class on how to muscle test and how to get answers from your body. So if you want to go through that, feel free to do that. I just want to talk just briefly a little bit about how to get a yes and how to get a no when you are in the mode of prayer, or if you're just looking for answers in your physical body or your physical life. Okay, so I know a lot of you guys in here are God-loving, God-fearing people who who do pray from time to time. Some of you in here are into meditation. That's awesome. Whatever your belief system is, you can adapt this and do it for how it works best for you. Okay, so that's what I want you to do, is just adapt it for what you do. And I'm going to share it in the way that I do it and what I do. Okay, so in the mornings when I want to connect, which I really highly recommend that each and every one of you inside of this group, those of you guys who are coaching with me on a personal one-to-one level, those of you who have done coaching with me, here's some things that I recommend. Number one, set aside some time in your day where you can create little pockets of peace in your day. Because if you just wake up, bam, hit the ground running, in kind of a state of like feeling rushed, it makes for a very chaotic life. It makes it difficult for you to navigate, right? We're all trying to get answers. We're all trying to navigate through this earthly experience. And so one of the best ways for you to be able to navigate in that way is learn how to connect, learn how to create pockets of peace, maybe create a little ritual for yourself in the mornings or at some point in the day where you can connect with your source. I know there's lots and lots of different belief systems, even in this tiny little group, but do it in a way that works best for you. That's all I'm going to say. I am going to share with you the way that I do it based on my belief system, and you guys just go ahead and modify. But in the mornings when I get up, I usually try to schedule enough time in my morning for at least a half an hour of connection time so I pray. I actually believe in a God. I call him Father. And so I reach out to him. I make that connection, and then I sit in meditation and wait for information. So what I've learned over the last few years is that it's really helpful to ask specific questions. Like if you need help navigating through your life, it's beneficial to come up with good, high quality, inspired questions so that you can get inspired answers. And then so that you can therefore ultimately take inspired action in your daily life. So one of the things that I think is very helpful for most humans to learn how to do is understand what yes feels like in your body when you're asking, and what no feels like in your body when you're asking. And so the information energetically will come to you. It will. Whatever you feel like your source is, it will come to you. So what I do is I get into the mode of prayer, personal prayer in the morning. I get on my knees. Typically I get on my hands and knees. I actually touch my forehead to the floor. I just learned this recently from a really close friend. One of the greatest ways to open up the flow of energy throughout your entire chakra system is to open up the third eye. And you can either do this right onto the ground on the earth, go out into your grass if it's warm enough, and you just bend down and touch your forehead to the ground. I do it in my room because it's cold outside. So I just do it in my room. I touch my head right down to the ground, and I'm on my hands and knees. I usually just get onto my elbows, and then I just tip my head down and touch it to the ground. And I ask, while I'm in that mode of prayer, I just ask, okay, Lord, what does yes feel like in my body today? And then I wait. And typically, like for me personally, you guys might be all different, I don't know. But for me personally, I get kind of a whooshing feeling that goes up my body. It's hard to explain, but it feels like a lightness. Almost like I can feel energy tingling up from the base of my spine and out the top of my head. That's the typical response that I get. Sometimes it's different. So if I'm sick, or if I'm in pain, or if I've got distractions going on in my body, yes and no might feel different. So I always ask, okay, God, what does yes feel like in my body today? And then I wait. And I wait for the feeling, I wait for the sensation, I wait for whatever that is. For me, it's going to be a lighter feeling. It feels fluffy. Sometimes I'll feel movement going up the spine and out my head. Sometimes like I'll get a little bit of a twitch because I can feel that energy moving through me. What else? It feels lighter, like not light and fluffy. I mean, we already described that one. It does feel like that, but on top of that, it sometimes will feel like light flowing through your body, like somebody turned on the light. It may feel enlightening. It may feel motivating to get up and do something good, something kind, something compassionate. It will always compel you in the direction of goodness, something good. So you just kind of wait and watch. What is the sensation in the body? And then what are the fruits of this experience? Okay, so just pay attention to the sensation in the body. So then I'll ask, what does no feel like in my body today? And typically for me, when I wait and I just kind of sit there and listen to what the body's doing, I notice that typically it feels like kind of like an emptiness. It's really hard to describe for me because it's really subtle. But maybe an emptiness. I don't feel much movement. It feels a little more heavy and just a little bit more dense. Sometimes there's like no response at all. It just feels blank and empty. But it does definitely, a no in my body almost constantly, continuously will feel more dense, more heavy. Sometimes it'll cause a little bit of chaos and confusion. You might have like memory loss. You might even lose the question that you were asking in the first place. And that's a pretty good indicator that that's a no, or that's not the right direction for you, or maybe change your question. So these are some really good things to be practicing so that you can get really clear on navigating through your life and using your body as an instrument or a device for interpreting that spirit energy that lives in you. Your higher self already knows the answers to all the questions you're going to bring up because your higher self is already connected to its beautiful divine source, right? And so connecting in, getting into your body, taking your awareness and your attention and going inside of the body, dropping down to the base of the spine, touching your forehead to the ground, to the earth, will really help to open up all of the chakras so that flow can happen. And then once you're in that situation, it doesn't really take long to get answers if you've properly established what does yes feel like today and what does no feel like today. So that's your homework assignment for this video for today, is go and practice getting very clear on what does yes feel like in my body, what does no feel like in my body. And once you're clear on that, then ask a few questions, some navigating questions. What information do you want to know the answers to? Like it could be things like, should I move forward in the direction of this project? Or should I just let it go and weed that out of my life? Should I take this class? Should I move to this city? I mean, that's a pretty big decision, but should I date this person? Should I marry this person? Should I, is it a good idea? Da, 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 right? Is it in the highest good for me to, and then you fill in the blank. Hey, Gail, thanks for jumping on here. It's always so nice to see you. So anyway, those are some just different tips and suggestions and ideas for how to get a yes and a no. You know, all of us need to navigate through our lives. I know for me personally, I have a tendency to say yes to a lot of things and then I figure it out later. Sometimes I have to go back through that process and weed out the nonsense, like the stuff that's just bogging me down and weighing me down. I have to go back through and weed some of that stuff out. And so this is a really great way that you can ask appropriate questions. Now, one question that you might also feel compelled to ask your higher self or ask the body is this question even appropriate for me to ask right now, or should I wait? So you're just going to ask, is it okay for me to ask this question right now? Excuse me, I've had a head cold this week. So I really want you guys to practice with that. I want you to play with these tools. If you didn't catch that, go back and watch the replay of this, how to get yes and how to get no, and how to determine whether or not your body is giving you that accurate information. And the more that you practice with it and play with it, the more you'll get really good at listening and discerning and noticing, okay, this is a yes for me and this is a no, okay? I personally like to make sure that I'm connected to my source, which is God, and I ask him those questions, and then I wait to see what the physical body is going to do about that. Okay, second half of this training today, this morning, we're not going to do a live healing today, but we are going to just kind of take some of the teaching a little bit deeper. If you guys have not yet logged in to your online home study course, you may want to do that. I'm going to be adding new content into that home study course over the next little while, so be watching for that. There will be new stuff being added probably in the next couple of weeks, but I want to cover, if you're in the process of learning how to clear and release negative, heavy, dense energy from your body that's holding you down and making you stuck and maybe even making you sick. It might be even giving you physical symptoms, right? One of the best tools to learn to engage in is the art of surrender. Now, a lot of people don't like the word surrender because it, like, you know, in war, if you put up the surrender flag, it means giving up. And I don't want you to think of the word surrender in that way for this particular application, okay? I want you to think of the word surrender as something completely different, meaning surrender is letting go of the resistance the fight that you put up. It's not giving up the fight. It's letting go of the need to put up walls and defense and resistance to something. So if you want to heal, or if you want to manifest something in your life, it's really difficult for that thing that you've requested or that you desire. It's difficult for that to come into your life and flow into your life if there's a lot of tension, constriction, clamping down, holding tight, tension, right? So the tension equates to the inner battle, the resistance, the fight that you're putting up against something. It doesn't necessarily mean you're fighting against what you want. It means you're fighting against something, anything, and clamping down so hard. When you clamp down and bring tension into your energetic field and into your physical body, you cannot manifest the things that you desire. They just can't come in because there's no room. It's like pinching off the garden hose when the water's trying to flow to the garden to nourish and manifest a beautiful, healthy garden. It can't do that when the garden hose is pinched off and clamped down. And so that's what you're doing when you resist. So I want you to think the opposite of resisting or resistance is surrender. One of the best ways to create surrender in your body, the feeling of surrender in your body, is gratitude. If you notice when you feel gratitude in your body for something, it could be anything. When you feel that feeling, that intense feeling of gratitude, it feels light and fluffy and open. It opens up your heart. It expands the space within you, and it will cause you to want and need less. Have you ever noticed that when you're in the state of gratitude, you really don't want and need anything else? You just feel so grateful in the moment. Right now, there isn't anything. Like, I notice I feel the most gratitude. This is so weird, but I feel a lot of gratitude when I step into a nice hot shower, and I am so grateful for my shower. I'm so grateful for hot running water. I'm so grateful for the opportunity I have to clean my body and be clean. I don't know why, it just feels so good to take a shower and be clean. Half the world around this world doesn't get the opportunity to do that daily. So I am grateful for hot water. I love feeling warm. When you're in the state of gratitude, it really helps you to just kind of release the tension, relax yourself, feeling safe, feeling good. And you want for nothing in those moments. You just kind of let go. And that's really the art. Surrender is the art of learning how to let go of the feelings of wanting and needing. That's what surrender is. It's learning how to let go of the feelings of wanting and needing. Have you ever noticed that the feeling of, oh, I want that so bad, I want it so bad, that feeling of intense desire, wanting and needing something, it does not feel good. It's not a good feeling to have in your body. It feels very desperate, and it feels very chaotic, and it feels very non-trusting, right? It feels like, oh my gosh, here's where I am, and here's where that thing is that I want, and there's this big gap between the two of us, and that gap is what you're focused on when you're wanting and needing. So the art of surrender, or the art of letting go, is really one of the greatest things that you can do for your body physically, because it will step you into spontaneous healing. But also, if you're seeking to manifest the desires of your heart, something that you truly desire and love, then you got to master the art of letting go. It's about letting go of those feelings of feeling concerned and feeling worried and feeling needy to it. When you feel very needy, like I want that, I need it, I need to pay the rent, so I need, $2,000 to manifest into my life right now, right? Because you're seeing the bills, they need to be paid, you need the money, the bank account is empty, or whatever the experience is for you. It's really difficult to not want and need something that you really want and need, right? But you have to let go of that feeling if you truly desire to allow that energy to flow in and unto you. So when you are in the state of wanting and needing, you're going to actually attract people and situations that are needy, right? It'll put you into a state of neediness, but it'll also attract people in your life that are needy to you, that need something from you. If you notice, just notice when you're in that energy, it's going to attract more people like that because you're an energy match to it, right? This is, I need and I want, and so you're going to attract people who need and they want. Okay, so the best thing to do is you got to learn how to be strong in yourself and trust that it is safe enough for you to let go of the wanting and the needing in order for you to have. And so what I do is I talk myself through it and I just say, okay, Janet, are you willing to let go of wanting so you can have it? Are you willing to let go of needing this so that you can have it? Are you willing to let go of it mentally? Are you willing to just hand it over to the universe? And you got to trust that it's safe for you to let that go, that it's safe for you to let it go so that it can come back in to your space. Letting go of needing, it will flow unto you. So that's really typically how manifestation works. Is a lot of people forget that last step, which is learning to just set it free and let it go. We clamp down and we hold on because we want it so badly. So how do you want to show up for yourself? Don't start your day in a rush. We just covered this before in the first half of the video. Please don't start your day in a rush. Set up little pockets or rituals for your day, for your life, either in the morning or somewhere throughout the day where you can create pockets of peace and places of gratitude where you can just really hone in and focus in on what you're grateful for. Stop looking at everything in your life as if it's a problem. So practice the art of being open. Practice the art of what is possible. What is possible for me today? What am I grateful for? Right? Let's say you want to manifest a new car and you currently drive an old clunky crappy car. Every time you get into that old clunky crappy car, you're going to feel bad that you don't have your brand new car because it doesn't, there's this disconnect, right? So find a way to, every time you step into your clunky old car, find a way to step into a feeling of trust and release and let go and gratitude. And when you do that, the things that you truly desire will have the room and they'll have the space to flow in unto you. So the art of surrender is all about letting go of clamping down. Stop clamping down, letting go, surrendering, releasing, and moving into that state of flow, which is gratitude, love, peace, trust, stillness, trusting that I'm safe and everything is okay. Okay? All right, those are two powerful messages for you guys today. You can use them both in the area of stepping into spontaneous healing and healing your own physical problems, or you can also use them in your life to manifest things that you desire, things that really are meaningful to you, things, people, situations, experiences that you would like to have. So go play with this, practice it, let me know how it goes for you guys, and then share some feedback with the rest of the group, and let us know how your experience is with this stuff as you begin to play with it and practice it. Okay, thanks for being here, you guys. Talk to you soon. See you next Monday. Bye.